Right, okay, we're back on, Harmony, the Fall of Reverie for I think it's part 4, I think it is. Yes, we just finished, possibly, chapter 3. Was it chapter 3 finished or chapter, I'm not sure. No, in theory, it should be, chapter 3 we finished, going to part 4, but who knows, Anyway, right, so, yeah, what happened? Well, we had, brief recap. We basically went for Bond over in this one because it just, I don't know, I think I learned something from it really. Basically, I wanted to try and do a certain action here, but it required, I wouldn't say complicated maths by any means, but it did require you having to literally check that all the tokens you had added up correctly in order for you to do what you set out to do. Now, I think it kind of worked out in the end. Just about, because I kind of feel like this was probably the way I wanted to go. Persuade Jade to network, and so she's, basically this. She's going to try and sort of put her feelers out with her network of friends and things to try and find out where Ursula, your mum's, gone. But I did want to let Laszlo go a bit further up here, and then decide a bit further up here with him doing that. But it turned out I couldn't do that because I didn't have the tokens to do it. But I didn't know I didn't have the tokens to do it until I did all this. But then, could I have done all that if I did that bit as well? So it's just maybe a bit too mathematical for my liking at this point, from what I've seen. I was limited on the choices I could make before I could make the choices, if you know what I mean. It was weird. I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the next one. We've got Jade on our side now. We've gone with Bond a bit. You see, we've got this overarching thing. So we've already got enough for the right one. You have reached the end of the act. It's time for you to choose an outcome. The only ones you have unlocked with the crystals you gathered are available. Alright, to close this tutorial and press the left mouse button to outcome you want to play. Well, we can't do that one because we've not got enough. So spark of joy. So well, you've grown up guess you've grown up to have any fun. Alright. I'm assuming she's saying that because we can't unlock it. It's not what she would say it's not like a generic message that she's saying here. Let's go. Power. There's only one proper way to bring an aspiration back to life. Tradition reborn. So I don't know really there. I'm not sure what's happened there. I don't know whether that's Bliss saying, well, guess you're too grown up to have any fun. I think she's saying that because we can't unlock it. That's not what she would have said regardless, so I think so. Alright, well, we've got to do this one anyway. I don't really know what it's going with. We've got to do it. Let's do it. Bring an aspiration back to life. Truth's buried temple, so I guess I don't know what would have happened. I don't know how this relates to anything, really. Would we have done it? Had we not gone with Bliss, would Truth remain dead or whatever? Assuming Truth's dead, we'd no idea that they were dead. This bit's going a bit over my head at the moment. I feel like we're going into an area that isn't related to anything we did, really. It just so happens that we've done what we did, and this is where we're going now. But there was no reason to believe that any of the outcomes we had, as far as I know, would have resulted in this. So it's a bit weird, a bit confusing. Don't know what to make of it. But there we go. That's where we are. So let's see. So Bond is here, so is Power.
Welcome to the domain of truth.
Someone worked hard to keep us from entering. But together, Power and I, we found a way inside.
Is that Bliss then, presume? Maybe. It's the only person who's not here with us.
Come, let's get this over with.
Don't seem like the same kind of people, do they? So why is Bliss not here? Ignorance is bliss. Truth. Maybe she was trying to keep Truth away. Maybe she's more than she seems. I think she's just some crazy little girl, but maybe she's a complete nutcase. Or the bad guy. I'm surprised to find a cave, cold and damp. It's not at all where I imagined aspiration of Truth would reside. Well, he's dead, isn't he? Isn't that what Power said before in the chapter overview thing? Alright, so we've got Power's stronghold. Alright, well, I think we've already read that, so it must be Truth's buried temple. Truth's buried temple. Truth's underground lake lies far away in the north of Reverie and doesn't have a bed. Its surface is a door beyond dreams that leads to the subconscious of life itself. Only truth can stare into it and retain their sanity. This lake is a way for them to see everything and nothing as they please. The cave surrounding it acts as an echo chamber. Much like its owner, this sanctuary has remained unchanged since the very beginning of time, unaffected by cycles and shifts. Empty walls, clear water, and unfillable void. It could be how they picture facts and accuracy. Solid, cold, or cold, solid. Bond and Power survey our surroundings. Their eyes are alert, but they seem relieved.
There.
I see truth. There in the centre. They are broken, shattered. I move closer, my footsteps echoing in the void without dying entirely. Even sound can't hide in here.
Come, Power. Let us proceed.
Agreed.
Mrs. Power's the only one who doesn't like an echo in his voice. To my surprise, the two of them join hands. Bond begins to sway to a beat I can't hear. Power joins a moment later. Soon the sways will become a foot-pounding, heart-shaking dance. Do I hear drums in the distance? The dance quickens, the movements of limbs blurring until the two aspirations are almost indistinguishable from one another. That's a vision that I can't quite imagine, all this. The drums grow louder, joined by a chanting that seems to come from the empty air just over my shoulder. By the fact that Power, I can't imagine him doing this weird dance. Egregore picks up broken shards of truth in a kaleidoscopic whirlwind of colour and substance.
It's working. Keep your distance. This may be...
A new sound emerges, a low vibration, a hum, coming from the statue itself. What statue? We didn't see the statue in the background. Alright. It'd be good to see the dance as part of this. So it's truth. Who's that? And of aspiration we not met. Was that the past? I don't know. Interesting. Straight questions we have. We're getting close to finding Ursula. I can feel it. Reverie is guiding me through this maze, but there's still lots I need to figure out for myself. Okay, interesting. Truth's Buried Temple. Alright, so there's a statue there now, although we can't see the statue for some reason. It's there all along, but we didn't see it. Well, we didn't show it to us. Silence reigns in the cave. The new figure stands before me, regarding me with cool eyes. I hope Bliss was right, that they know where my mother is. The aspiration stirs. Bliss, Bond, Power. They're all here.
I am truth. I am the eye that sees. The unveiled. The watcher in the dark.
We'll see. Truth's voice, the echo, actually is before their actual voice. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's look at the old thingamabob then. Codex. Truth. Truth is the unequivocal answer to life, setting boundaries and laws between everything that is. As the guardian of the Book of Facts, Truth keeps a record of the history of Reverie. Truth is the weaver of prophecies and all-seeing eye of Reverie, capable of predicting what will be and seeing everything that could have been. They defined the very structure of Reverie, creating an nexus out of thin air for the aspirations to coexist in. They care deeply about the fate of dreams and devote their existence to ensuring the future can come to pass. That might explain why their echo is before their voice, because they involve with the future. You can see the future, what have you. Okay. Or can predict things anyway. Alright. Hello there, Truth.
And I am whole. Once more. Thanks to you.
So what would have happened then if we'd have gone with the other Bliss? Is it literally ignorance is bliss and truth wouldn't have come back? Oh, maybe we'll find out in another playthrough, maybe. That name again. No matter.
You're welcome. But please, my mother, Ursula Beauclair, do you know where she is?
My memories remain out of reach. Shattered, like my cell. Although I cannot tell you where your mother may be, I do know her fate is entwined with that of chaos.
Another aspiration. Weird how Truth's face had like cracks in it, or energy lines anyway.
And that it was Chaos who incapacitated me.
Like a middle eye as well. Third eye. It closes and blinks. Bliss is sitting on the ground, visibly annoyed by something. Bond seems to be uncomfortable, but Power stands and begins pacing, almost marching.
This is outrageous. We have tolerated this charlatan's exploits for far too long. I've told you before, Chaos would be the death of us. Always scheming and plotting against their own kin.
There's Chaos basically Loki.
They may have a maze, but I have an army. I'll flush him out in no time.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
No. Such violence would only widen the rift that already threatens to tear Reverie apart.
Right?
We need to listen to each other, please. Harmony, our kin Chaos retreated to their endless maze shortly after Truth disappeared.
Okay. Reverie's maze. The maze rose from droplets of egregore falling from the Nexus and is a puzzle even to us. It has all remained unexplored by our aspirations, who fear what may be lurking inside. Eventually, Chaos decided to claim it their playground, tended to plants and concealing the dreams within its depths. A few aspirations refused to grant them the land, but since Chaos has never had a proper sanctuary, those aspirations were voted down. Most of us still don't know how or why this labyrinth came to be. Alright, so I guess that's Chaos' sanctuary. Alright.
Now we know why.
That maze. Is it impenetrable?
It's a labyrinth of trickery and tomfoolery built by a coward. I'd go in there myself, only
Only we cannot enter an aspiration's domain without being invited.
and that charlatan will never let us in. They will refuse to fight face to face.
That's enough. Chaos may be unbound, but the secret to their return is consensus, not division.
Bond is correct. War is an engine of strife, and in direct opposition to our needs. And may I remind you, we have other matters to attend to. Our realm lies in tatters, a shadow of itself. Glory refuses reason at every turn.
Is glory another aspiration? You see the lines on Truth's face, and the eyes looking to the right slightly. I would say that when you lie, you look one way or the other. I wonder if looking to the right is the truth. Probably is. Little hidden touch there.
We must decide where our attention is most required.
I need to remind them of my own goal.
I have to find my mother. For the sake of my own family.
Sounds quite minor compared to their woes. Did I speak to you frankly? They seemed surprised.
I hope you understand.
Well, they're talking about what sounds to be quite profound. You just say, I need to find my mum.
Certainly. It is the logical choice.
Oh, maybe, well, all right, fair enough. Mind you, they probably did know your mum before they knew us, so maybe there's something in it.
But I would suggest that a search for Chaos and a search for Ursula may well be one and the same.
And why is that?
I don't understand. Why would they be linked? What aren't you telling me?
Not a single one of them can look me in the eye. Another secret, another closed door I need to pry open with my bare hands. Obviously, Chaos and your mum's disappearance seem to be intertwined somehow, so yeah, interesting.
I may have a mutually beneficial solution. May, as I say, my memory remains treacherous. Go home. Await the coming of tomorrow, and we will see if fate guides us true.
Fate?
Is that another aspiration? So yeah, it mentions glory and fate. We never know whether it's an aspiration or just what they actually are. The laugh escaping my throat hurts.
Fate is an easy word to throw around.
Got fireworks going around ahead this time.
I'll wait for tomorrow.
I am pleased.
The other aspirations look set to launch into their own sales pitches, but I've made up my mind. I bid them farewell, close my eyes and plunge back down the rabbit hole to Brittle. It's calling it Brittle now. I'm back at the Naiads. Travelling between the two realms is always a brief and uneventful affair. Wait, I'm not alone. Something fogs my vision. A popping, crackling sensation that could only be...
Well, that was a pretty mess, wasn't it?
He's got chaos now. Oh, he says could only be, as if she's met him before.
Chaos. I don't understand. Bond said you were hiding, so how are you here? Now?
Hiding? I'm not hiding. I'm out here relaxing, taking a load off, escaping the rat race. You've seen the others. Can you blame me? Doesn't mean I can't talk to you, though, you lucky thing.
But why? Why won't you work with them then?
Because they've got it all wrong, you see?
I am chaos, as much as truth is truth and power is power. They aren't just names, my dear.
Alright, Chaos. A master of trifles. Trifles, alright, makes a good trifle. And the cosmic designer. Chaos is both none and everything all at once. As the oldest aspiration, they are the spark that birthed reverie, and are also the one who can change it. Oh, this doesn't look oldest, does he? Where is this crown? None of this matters to Chaos, however. They are the aspiration of the present, and neither the past nor the future matters to them. The rawest and yet most complex incarnation of dreams. Chaos is unpredictable, free, and always in search of something to create or destroy. So that's quite a good summary of Chaos, I guess, from what I know of it.
I'm not hiding from you. I'm just in a place that requires effort to reach. Live your life by my name. I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
So we're getting a lot of choices now, aren't we, here? All these, but some of them overlap, so...
Bye-bye for now.
TTFN. And they're gone, taking their riddles with them. Live your life by my name. They're offering me another path, right? Whatever's coming my way, I need a break. It's late. I'm tired and anxious about whatever truth is planned for tomorrow. Time to eke out whatever rest I can manage. Oh, God, goodness me, what's all this? Heart screen. This is the heart screen. It shows the number of crystals you have collected throughout the story. It's Chaos's maze, is it? Well, it's like one of those mazes, those Mercury mazes when I was younger. Aspirations need egregores to extend their influence over Brittle. Collecting their crystals fills up the gauge that represents their need for egregore. You can press H to open the screen at any time on the org wheel. Fulfilling Aspirations' need for egregore completely will change Atina's destiny. Will you choose a champion? Or will you try to maintain balance between the forces to run both Reverie and Brittle? Alright, so we could fill it up completely. It's got quite a lot of Bond there, a bit of Bliss. Glory, there you go. So Glory is one of them. Alright. 3 Bond, 3 powers, no colour and power at all. Alright, interesting, okay. What did it say? We can press T to get here, did it say? Art screen or H. Okay, there we go. Alright. So on part 4, I guess then. So let's have a look at how big it is. Quite a big one. We have 23 Chaos or Truth crystals. Power crystals. Bond crystals. So Bliss isn't here at all this time. So I guess Bond is like the harmony between them all. Powers just wants to... It's kind of the opposite, I guess. Chaos and Truth are obviously leading down a similar path. Nothing but dreams. Well, we've got to do this one, so we'll just leave what this in, go into to see what it leads. So, goodness me, is this? That was just the overview. Goodness me. That was the act overview, that. Gracious me, okay. It's quite... Oh, dear. Well, I think either way we've just got to go down this route, haven't we? So this is the actual thing. God, all those blooming all those aspirations. Oh, it's so big. Look at this. Oh dear, this is it's getting complicated now, isn't it? It's getting complicated. Oh, I say that. Is it that complicated really? But you know, it's just a choice, isn't it? All right. So what have we got going on? In fact, can I really see much? There's nothing we can see here at all. We don't have any clues as to what any of that is yet, so there's no point looking at it. Alright, so a new day without a lead. The stranger at the gates, keeping the search for Ursula a secret. Or everybody knows you're looking for Ursula. Okay, need to talk with Laura Laszlo to go over our plans, I guess. It's been 5 years since I was last on the team. It's so weird to be back. 5 years? I think 5 years is... Right, okay. Don't know what that's about. Maybe we're in someone else's mind now. I don't know, unless 5 years has gone in the flash. I think now we might have the next choice decided for us because we've gone down the covert route anyway, so I think we'll naturally go left, but we'll see. So much has changed. So much is new.
So, what's the plan?
Laszlo, Nora and I are in the kitchen, a bit phased out and a bit lost. We're still half asleep.
I just woke up, Grandpa.
Grandpa! Nora's always called her grandfather that. Of course, Laszlo's hated the term, but it stuck.
The plan is to find some breakfast.
You mean get me to make you some breakfast, hmm?
If you're offering.
They're smiling, but there's desperation in their eyes. We have no idea what to do.
Polly, got any more substantial, less food-oriented ideas, dear?
I'm trying to figure out our next move. We don't know where Ursula is. Not a clue. We need a lead.
We need a miracle.
Well, we've given Jade the thing. We're waiting for Jade to do whatever she's doing. The entrance bell rings, come with short, decisive presses.
You were saying?
Could it be the aspirations? Could it be the help truth mentioned before? Well, would Jade just come up to our front door? I don't know, but as far as I know, we know a way of getting in touch with her. Alright. Consequence, yeah, here we go. So the next nose barrier was removed by the outcome you chose at the end of the previous act, which made sense. So I predicted that, as mentioned before. Outcomes generally have greater consequences than objectives. For now, things are kept simple, but you might be different later. Let's see what fate is in store for you. Keeping the secret first. Keeping the search first a secret. Can we do that one? Ursula's disappearance is public knowledge. I don't get this. It doesn't seem to be locked though, so I don't understand. Well, that's locked apparently, but I don't know why that's locked. Why is that one locked? Maybe we should have been more discreet about Ursula's disappearance. Ursula's disappearance, someone's here for us. Everybody knows they're looking for Ursula. Why does everyone know? I don't get it. We didn't publicize it. We used Jade's secret network. Alright. I don't know, we'll go with it. Not quite sure it's making sense that. I walk quickly to the gate, Laszlo and Nora follow in a hurried silence. The terrace. A handsome man stands at the gate, sure-footed, good posture. He flashes a brisk smile when he sees us.
Good morning.
Okay, Omar is a new guy. He's impressive in a way, attractive for sure. Laszlo and Nora hover behind me. They've elected me as their leader to arrive, which feels good somehow.
Can we help you?
I'm Omar. I was hoping we could have a word about Ursula.
I don't get it why it's saying everyone knows. Omar, born December 3rd, 1994, owns a bookshop on Liberation Road, holds a doctorate in Oxian culture. Moved to teen after earning his degree to continue research in the Oxian culture, but was denied clearance by the previous administration. All information on the Oxians is now tightly controlled by Mono Concern. Runs a bookshop which now draws some regulars from his phone calls. It appears he has a father and several sisters. Alright. Now can we get back to the Orgriel? Still a quick glance from behind me. Lazarus on guard. Nora's face is a mixture of confusion and hope.
What about her?
I don't know the way I can't get to the Orgriel from here.
I heard about her disappearance. It's the talk of the town.
He quickly describes the energy of Alma last night. Whatever Jade's done, it's caused us to... Okay, well, that explains it. So Jade's done something random. Even though, for some reason... Well, I don't know. We had no reason to believe she kept it secret, I guess. But she was asking her network, which implies it's going to be kept secret. I don't know. All right.
She didn't show up for our recent appointment, so I wanted to lend a hand.
He's calm, sure of himself, as if nothing could ever shake him.
Who are you, exactly?
I own a bookshop on Liberation Road. Academic stuff, mainly. Well, that's in these days, right? Nerd stuff.
So basically, the reason why Power and Bond were related last time is because they basically make it go public that Ursa's gone missing. And if we'd have gone with Bliss, it would have been private. So that was why those two were joined. We've just branched off that story. Liberation Road Bookshop, a bookshop on Liberation Road. It has specialised in academic publications for 9 years now. This very popular bookshop is seen as a quaint little place by tourists. Many specialists on the Oxygen Culture Shop stop by to visit the owner, order books and chat about the latest discoveries. Omar Shibani, a historian by trade, was made a citizen of Athena in 2030. We've no idea what the current date year is, but it's obviously in past 2030, I guess.
I specialise in literature about the Oxyon culture.
We still don't know what this Oxyon is. I'm sure it's mentioned it a few times. Right, well, there we go. All right. The Oxyons, the culture that once stood on this land. Word melders, poetic fishermen, and builders of temples like many cultures around the Mediterranean. Oh, so it's people of the past. I thought it's some kind of DNA type thing. Could they be linked to Reverie?
Ursula and I shared an interest in that specific topic until her disappearance.
Maybe it is. Yeah. Strange how it's not in the codex yet, Oxyon, but it might be in a second.
Once I heard about that, I had to come here and offer my help. After all, it's about giving back. But the Naiads is a part of this community, right? This place was quite the landmark. Back in the day, of course. A refuge for artists, poets, and lost souls.
Laszlo opens his mouth to speak, but stops himself. He doesn't like how Omar described the Naiads, but Omar's right. The building's seen better days. How did he describe it? Back in the day, of course. All right, yeah.
I'm Nora, and this
is Laszlo, and I'm Polly, Ursula's daughter.
Daughter? That's... interesting.
How so?
I had a sort of dream. Vague and very hard to decipher.
Right.
The Oxyon word for daughter kept coming up.
What is that word? This can't be a coincidence.
Well, nice to meet you, Omar.
What's that word for daughter? That would have been useful to know. All right. So we've gone there. Someone's here for us. So we get to here now. Who is this man? All right. So lots of stuff's opened up to us. Ask about the Oxyons. Reveal one node. Oh, we may as well just go to here, I think. Let's just do this. It's hard to focus. The four of us walk toward the building, none of us saying a word. The lawn is gorgeous. In the summer, the whole community of Alma gathers here. A soup kitchen is often run out of the kitchen. Ursula cooks for a battalion while Laszlo serves food and helps out along with anyone else who's around.
So, first time here?
It's a good question. No one on the island has visited Naiads as famous as it is.
Yeah. I moved to Athena a couple of years back. Did my masters on the Oxyon civilization, so obviously I had to come here to finish it.
First time here. It's a good question. Everyone on the island has visited the Naiads. Why is she asking it then? Alright, well, yeah, okay, fair enough, alright. I smile. I did the exact opposite. Studied here until I could get as far away from Athena as possible.
How did you end up living here?
We've been here since forever. Ursula used all of her money to keep this place afloat.
Now it's just debts and leaky pipes.
As his granddaughter's words, Laszlo nods. That draws a smile from Omar. Good. The tension seems to be clearing. Is truth behind Omar's visit?
Perhaps.
Their voice in my head feels like a swarm of bees rushing through my skull.
Consider Omar here a helpful stranger, encountered on an unknown path. One who does not know the way, but is in possession of a map.
I said wait till tomorrow, didn't she, for him to visit? A wave of gratitude emanates from the aspiration. Is this their way of thanking me?
Think of this as a resetting of the balance.
Okay. The stranger may be the key to find my mother. Laszlo and Nora seem to realise this too. It looks like they're dying to interrogate him.
So, what do you know about Ursula? Did you notice anything strange about her?
There's quite an interrogation.
Calm down, Grandpa. But did she say anything to you about leaving? About going away? Do you have any leads?
Truth is still there, a presence behind my eyes. A presence behind my eyes.
I'd let them ask their questions before letting him into your sanctum. You can never tell with people. Not these days.
That's our sanctuary, is it?
But you sent him to us.
More like he washed up on your shores.
My eyes practically roll themselves. I feel the weight of power and bond arrive, and something else, a faint presence I'm not familiar with.
Whatever they might say,
Chaos.
truth is relieved, as are we all.
Yes, thankful also.
You're welcome. But right now, I've got a stranger to deal with.
The odd presence remains silent before fading entirely, but I have more pressing matters to attend to. Omar's managed to appease Nora and Laszlo, but I need to make sure we can trust him. Alright. Okay. Convergence. The 2 symbol means that several nodes are available and you must play a certain number of them in order to progress onwards. Here you must choose 2 nodes among the 3 that are available before moving on. Goodness me, it's complicated. Alright. Got to choose 2 of them. Alright, so... okay. I wish by pressing on the one it leads to, it showed you where it came from. It doesn't do that. So when I press on these, I can't see where this goes. I have to press it. Well, I guess I can press on that, can't I? Alright, so we can ask about their friendship. What was there between them? Is he her new lover? Alright, so that goes up to there. Reveals what that is. We ask about the Oxians. What does Athena's ancient civilization have to do with Ursula? Reveals a node. That's a good question. Reveals a node goes down that way. We've got all sorts of stuff here. Need a bond crystal. This is so complicated all over here though. Nora shares her worries. Send Nora over to Omar. What's Nora feeling? Who is she texting? Ask her what's going on. Who, Nora? Lots of stuff about Nora that way. Looks like Ursa's last notes. Then we've got this way. What's this? Ask when he last saw her. When was the last time he heard from Ursula? Reveal her node. What's on this side? Check on Laszlo. Wasn't there a 3rd poem? Ask about the family section. Talk about the section on love. Who is she missing? Press Laszlo for more info. So there's something weird going on there. So let's do with Laszlo, let's do with Nora. And down the centre, we've got no clue what's down the centre. But it will open up when we do it. Alright, so we can ask about what the ancient of Earth civilization has to do with Ursula. Query about Omar's friendship with her. Ask when he last saw her. So are we bothered about Omar's last friendship with her? Are we bothered about that? I feel like that's the question we wouldn't ask normally, but it does offer some extra insight. I mean, for me, normally it would be ask about the Oxyons. What does Athena's ancient civilization have to do with Ursula? When was the last time we heard from her? Act overview. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to go to. Alright, so here's the guy. Can we help you? What did he mention about the Oxyons? Do we have any reason to ask about the Oxyons? I'm trying to do it from a semi-role-playing point of view. If we'd have been in that conversation, would we be interested in the Oxyons? I had sort of dream, vague, and how to keep the word Oxyon for daughter kept coming up. Okay. So that is, we've got a direct thing there for Oxyons there. So that is a good question to ask. When he last saw her, that's a good question to ask. Their relationship. I'm going to ask about the Oxyons. I think we've got a definite lead for that. Something's troubling me. This is the first I've heard about Ursa's interest in Athena's native culture. I think it was more about the fact that the dream he had. The Oxyons were hardly ever mentioned when I was growing up.
You say she was interested in the Oxyons? I don't remember her giving them much thought before.
Omar falls silent for a second, his eyes boring into mine.
She might have been a long time ago. In the last few years, she's been more concerned with the here and now.
That's chaos.
Still, a few weeks back she came to my bookshop. Said she wanted to know more about the Oxyons. Books, scrolls, treaties. She had a particular interest in their rituals and habits.
That's treatises, not treaties. I'm sure they're not the same thing.
What was she up to?
MK has stirred up a lot of stories about the Oxyons. They've done a lot of good work on the ancient ruins around the island.
Sounds like MK's money is coming in handy at last.
They've spent millions digging and excavating. There's a museum being built, exhibitions, galleries.
This is expositions. There's a couple of type mistakes here. She said expositions there, not whatever. I can't remember what she said. That says you say expeditions? What did she say? I can't remember what she said now. But it wasn't exposition. If that's a typo or whether the writing was right.
Well, that's the good part. But they sectioned everything off. They brought in entry fees and time limits and made sure they get some return on their investment.
Exhibit, wasn't it? I couldn't remember what you said. Yeah, exhibits. Yep, it did sound a bit too perfect. Good part, but they've essentially everything off, brought in entry fees and limits. That's reasonable, I don't think.
Ursula told me she'd been given some Oxyon poems a long time ago. Before I was even born. As she liked to say. She was attempting to translate them. Modernize them, even. It felt like a real passion project. She never shared it with you?
No.
Interesting. A double life almost. It does raise some questions as to just who he was and why she was confiding in him, but I think it was just by the fact that he was at the bookshop, had a shared interest, so I don't think it's worth going into that. So, ask when you last saw her. I think that's a fair enough question, and I think it's one we'll ask. As he gets a better look at Omar, I can tell he's travelled a lot. It's the little things, mannerisms you don't find in people here. It feels like he's trying too hard, like his calm exterior is a facade. That might be what's pushing Laszlo away.
So, Ursula, how often did you two meet?
She'd pop by the bookshop when she was in the area. Every few days. And recently we'd met as friends. Social calls.
Laszlo stiffens just a little.
She never mentioned you.
She talked about you all the time. I went to your bar once and I was struck by how similar you were to her description.
Is that good or a bad thing?
Again, It's a compliment.
Let's not get sidetracked. The last time you saw her
Yeah.
was...
So clearly their relationship was just about the fact he was in the bookshop. There's nothing more to it than that.
A few weeks ago, she came by to borrow a book I'd recommended.
One of the,
Oxyon Legacy and the Spiritualist Diaspora. She didn't seem out of sorts.
at least from what we gathered anyway. And what the text tells you generally is really seems to be quite accurate. And I'm not getting the impression that they were lovers, although clearly it could all be a facade. But
Oh, I actually bought something that could be of help.
when someone rummages for his pockets, I feel the unmistakable weight of Power's presence.
Whether Omar means to or not, he brings great upheaval.
Right now, upheaval or no, he's all we've got.
Upheaval, eh? Alright, so we got this bit. Ursula's last notes. Unlocks a lot of things. All three of those things. Well, we've got to go for it. There's no reason. We may as well just get into it. I can't say I trust him, but he's our best lead so far. At Laszlo's and Nora's nod, I beckon Omar inside.
Here, I found these. I think they might provide a clue. Or a lead. Or, well, I'm not a detective, but they look relevant. At least.
He passes me a few crumpled scraps of paper.
Ursula's handwriting.
Yes. It's part of her latest work. She gave them to me a few weeks ago and claimed she had a notebook somewhere containing the rest.
I think I can help you. I know exactly where it is. Wait here, all of you.
And claims she had a notebook containing the rest. I don't think claims seems the wrong word there. Surely just said. I mean, why as if he doesn't believe her, claimed she had a notebook. Of course she had a note, It's only part of her work. And clearly there was somewhere else that had the rest of it. There's no claimed about it. He almost pirouettes on his way out. Nora stifles a laugh despite the reasons behind our meeting.
You're becoming our lucky charm.
Well, I was just worried about Ursula. It's, good to know I'm not alone.
We'll get to the bottom of this. Now that we have a lead, there's no stopping us.
I can't help but smile at Nora's confidence. Before I can speak, Laszlo practically batters down the door on his way back.
She told me where it was years ago. No secrets between us.
Okay.
But I couldn't bring myself to open it and read it. It's her personal stuff, you know?
It seems a bit weird that you just bring it out like this for everyone to see. Laszlo, adorable Laszlo. Even with Ursula missing, he still thought it would be wrong to read a notebook. Now he's opened it for everyone to see, so it seems a bit, I don't know, contradictory maybe. Everybody looks at the damn thing. It's pretty, but opening it feels like a betrayal.
Perfect. I know we might regret this later, but sometimes the unethical thing to do is the right one.
He leaves through the notebook, a slow-looking and surprisingly thin affair. A concerned look darkens his face. It's really just lets him look into it.
It's filled cover to cover. Too much for one person to read. If I just... there.
Omar slowly unties the leather cord binding the pages together. I've never heard Laszlo make the noise before. A kind of strangled snort.
Nora, was it? Here. 2 sheets. Laszlo, take these 3. I'll take these other 3. And Polly, these are yours.
Hands out the pages if they were flyers for the biggest concert of the year.
What have you...
Laszlo's not happy.
I hope you'll all agree this is no time for unnecessary hesitation.
Well, Laszlo, why did you give it to him? I mean, makes no sense that he would do that, I don't think.
The sooner we read Ursula's work, the sooner we'll find out if she left any clue to her disappearance.
Laszlo's face is beet red, but he drops his gaze to the page before him. I take a look at the now homeless sheets in my hands. It looks like a foreword on the opening chapters. They seem to be about family, the Oxyans, and... I squint at the hastily written notes. A diatribe on life, the future, and her anxieties. I never knew. One sentence stands for all the rest. The words sound alien when set against the Ursula I thought I knew.
Bound to live in a world where I drown in the memory of you. The rage inside still hasn't burnt away the tears. I'll meet you again in a fraction of time.
She has some double life in Reverie then, do you think, where she was, I don't know, a relationship with one of the Other aspirations, maybe?
Someday.
Who is she talking about? Alright, well, we got some information here. So let's have a look at the overarching story act overview. What do we want to achieve? We've got no real... There's a secret relationship. Gets the truth malarkey. Got Bond. Ursa Secret's quest. Yeah, well, the truth can often hurt. You must face it. So we get a secret relationship. So she did have something going on, but it wasn't with Omar. I don't think it was obviously with one of the aspirations. Possibly, it's leading us to say it's chaos, but we don't know if that is the case. Power can spare. What's troubling Nora? Oh, there's just a bit too much going on here. But I think pursuing the truth is what I'd like to do. But you see, I think when there's double ones here, chaos or truth, it's clearly an easier option to go down. Or that, you know, the other ones are more nuanced, I think you'd say. Yeah, but I think if we aim for real hard truth, clear victory, you must do what needs to be done. There's no time, so that gets rid of chaos, presumably. Save your mother, you will have to open your heart and trust others. Bond, a collective win. Just when it's too involved like that, it makes it seem like it's an easier one to go down. Alright. Well, okay, so what's this? We have to go here. We can't go there, can we? So this one, well, we don't have any choice. I don't know. Does it open other things? Have we unlocked anything? Ursa's secret relationship. So that's okay. That's on the main thing, isn't it? So that leads. So go to the act overview. That's those three options there. I don't get much information from them now. Alright. Well, nothing's really helped with that. But there we go. So those are the three options there. Which is where we end up here. I don't quite get why it's in this chapter. Alright. Okay. Well, we got to do this first, I think. I don't think we can do anything else, as far as I know. So let's just do this. Omar notices my reluctance. I can't believe we tore it apart. I don't think we have any choice, though. It feels like we should have a choice of what to do, but... Okay, we don't. Hopefully, anyway, I've not missed anything. Shame washes over me for a moment. Should we be doing this? Try and feel my mother's secrets. Omar notices my hesitation and beckons me over with a jerk of his head.
I know. This feels wrong. But you know as well as I do.
I just don't understand why Laszlo gave the diary. Well, what he assumed might be diary or what clearly might contain personal things, just handed it over. Despite not wanting to open it himself.
That it's the only way. I do. Why did she even give you those pages?
I think it's a bit too late for this conversation. This conversation should have happened before he looked at it. Before Laszlo even gave it. I mean, this is totally... The horse has already bolted, you know.
Because I asked.
He had two in his hand as well, but he asked for possibly stuff relating to notes on Oxyons, not related to personal information. It's not the same thing.
She was writing again. For the first time in a long time, she said. She wanted an unbiased opinion, and I, offered my services.
But you never read them?
Once I saw they were poems, No. I thought she was working on some new Oxyon translations. Verse, though, not my bag.
Well, he did say they were notes. But then he implied they were notes on Oxyon research, from what I remember him saying. But this sounds like completely different. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So much for the enlightened academic shtick.
I don't know why he would think we should look at them. Why would he have these notes? Why would he say, I've got these, let's look for the rest of them? What's the importance if it's just poems? I don't know.
My mother's work can get a little heavy sometimes.
I clenched my teeth as I pushed back the memories.
But this new stuff, from the notebook, it's full of references to Oxyon traditions and rituals. A treasure trove, really.
No, but why were you... doesn't link together with what you've talked about as far as I know. It's, I don't know, strange. Well, he said they were poems, but I got the impression they were Oxygen things, but then he said they weren't, and then he said they linked to the other stuff, which is Oxygen things, but then it made... I don't know, I must have missed something. I feel like I've been quite comprehensive in what I was with reading what's going on, but this is not making loads of sense so far. It must have contradict itself.
I'm going to go back to it. Why don't you go and check on the others? They look a little... lost.
Alright. So now we get some choices, I think. Timer! This node is subject to a timer represented with a timer icon in its lower parts. The time will decrease by 1 when another node is played. When time hits 0, the condition will be resolved and the barrier will break. Right, so we can't go it yet till we've done more things. Time 6 turns. I don't know if that means we can't do other things. Alright, Nora seems frightened, so we're checking up on Nora. If we go this way, we get truth or power. We need bond crystals to go that way. We can't get bond crystals any other way, so presumably we have to get them this way. Check on Laszlo, he looks concerned. Inevitable. So these are all inevitable. So we have to... These are all inevitable nodes, it says. So these... We do have to... So this timer thing... This one isn't inevitable. These are inevitable. So this is the only optional one here. So this bit down the middle is optional, but it might... Well, only if we don't lose any crystals, as I say, it might stop us. Gain a bond crystal, have a bond crystal. Alright, well, let's look checking on... Well, we've got... Checking on Laszlo. I go to check on Laszlo. His eyes are a blur as he scans Ursa's words, but he looks up as I approach.
Hey, done already?
Not exactly.
Would you look at that? The old man actually came out ahead. I just wrapped these up. Poems, of course. All about family.
Our family?
He takes a big gulp of air. That bad, eh?
I'd say so. Your mother is many things, but subtle, no. There's one about relationships, the push and pull of the family unit. Your mother as a young girl thinking of her future. And the second, that one's about a lost love, one she can only find in dreams. Unless the gods will it, whatever that means.
That doesn't bother you? Her talking about love like that? Like something out of reach?
Look, your mother's never been a one-man woman. She was always crystal clear about that.
Alright, crikey. My brother's in an open relationship. It took me a while to understand that it isn't a young people thing, it's a regular thing. Alright, well, did we know that then? I don't know, it implies that we already knew it.
And I love her for that as well. She and Nora...
He jerks his head in Nora's general direction.
Both help me to understand that love doesn't bind or restrain.
That's my lasso. Grizzly bear on the outside, teddy bear on the inside.
But in here, she mentions a presence so strong it can be seen in every line.
Every word. So I'm going to skip past that. I've rarely seen such a healthy relationship. I wish I could say the same about me and my mother. Alright, but it's... Say that, but she's swelling off doing random things, so... I don't know. Alright. So wasn't there a third poem? True, something isn't right here. He's hiding something, and he's had a reason for it. Ask about the family section. How she sees herself within your family were revealing. Talk about the section on love. Go and ask him about that, and don't blush. The ones we say a lot. This one says the ones we love says a lot about us. So Chaos is getting involved there. 5 turns. Let's oh dear. Play 2 previous notes to unlock. Oh, so we can't get that way till we've done that one. Okay. So if we don't go this route, we can't do this. Steal the secret poem. Ursha's secret relationship. Secret quest. I don't feel like I want to pursue the secret relationship. I think that's the one I want to aim for. So we want truth crystals, basically. I think that's what I'm going to aim for. Secret quest. I don't know, that's maybe... Look at the act overview. The secret quest might be where she's gone. Bond. Hard truth. Alright. Gain a power crystal, gain a truth crystal, gain a chaos crystal. So we could still go that way with either of those. What's the third poem? The chaos tempted to go down the chaos route. I just don't know really. Section on love. Who's he missing? Press also for more info. In order to go down that route, we have to do that one, so we'd miss out on that if we don't do that route. But doesn't mean we can't do it, but we don't know whether the maths add up, that's the problem. Steal the secret poem. Secret quest, secret relationship. What's troubling Nora? Alright, let's go down this route, talk to Nora, because we can't. Why can't I go that way? That bit locked off now. Is it because I went down that way? Is it closed off that one? I couldn't see. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it has. All right. Well. All right. Something isn't right. He's hiding something, and he has reason for it. So, what the section on love? Need a bond crystal. I'm going to ask for the section on love. I probably should do the third poem. But I'm just going to do that. I don't know. Oh my, I hope I don't regret this.
The section on... love.
Oh. So we're diving straight into that, are we?
I didn't mean to pry. I just wondered if it might explain. You know?
I'm pulling your leg. This family's an open book.
Until someone disappears without a trace. The other way around, I think. I mean, it was a closed book, literally, until she disappeared without a trace.
So, what do you think this lost love is? A person? A metaphor?
Knowing your mother, it's both. But like I said, she'd never mentioned being in love with anyone else. And this another realm business, it sounds symbolic to me.
He says this while scratching at his throat and staring at Omar. And now he's coming over.
Actually, Ursula only used dactylic hexameter when she was being literal. Like any serious Oxyon poet.
If there's a Mr. Obnoxious Scholar contest somewhere out there, Omar's just won it.
Here. Right here. She's referring to a person.
Is that right? Huh. I never noticed that.
Alright. This one used dactylic hexameter when she was being literal. I don't know what that means, but assuming it means what part is in the poem.
That meter was the key to unlocking her treatise on the nature of time.
This is how you pronounce treatise. Mind you, it was plural last time. Treatises. It was well, anyway.
It wasn't time as a concept she was talking about, but a self-reflective vision of her aging self.
I see. So, do you happen to know who she might be referring to here?
We mostly stuck to discussing less weighty topics, like politics and death.
This feels like a clue. A mysterious lover, a distant realm, gods. Since I put this necklace on, nothing has been a coincidence. Alright. It seems to imply that it locked that one. Anyway. Alright. So, who's she missing? Chaos, who did she love and lose? That's the big question. And 10 billion, and for 10 billion points, any guesses? Chaos, isn't it? We may have missed something. Press out some more info. So we don't go that way. Have 3 truth code tokens. Bond crystal. In truth crystals. I feel like we're moving away from the truth almost literally here. Gain 2 truth crystals. We're going down the Bond route again, aren't we? Because I thought we could go down here, and it looks like this has been blocked off now. When he says it's inevitable, so but I don't get why I can't go down it. Alright, well, we're going to go this route. We're just going to go that route. If there's one thing both poems have in common, it's a sense of longing, of a gaping hole in my mother's heart, and the magnetic connection with whoever's left it there. But who could that be? Laszlo? No, he was never lost her. My father, absolutely not. Out of the question. Chaos. Omar only after a few weeks. Someone else then.
You're right there. You sort of zoned out.
Oh, hey. Yeah. No, I'm fine. You know, reading your mother's innermost thoughts. It's a lot.
There's secrets in this family, huh?
For better or worse. Is funny.
What is?
I always thought my mother was in love with her art. And that's why we were so far apart. Distant, almost.
A silence. He knows what I'm about to ask.
Did she?
Did she ever mention you?
Yeah. That's my question.
No. Never.
Strange. Although you kind of knew the answer to that because, sort of, when you were surprised when you said daughter. That stings like a bee the size of a truck.
That doesn't seem to surprise you.
I'm here to find my mother. Because she means something to me. To my family. And to some people on this island. No matter who she actually is when we're together, in the same room.
His smile is warm, full of understanding. He steps away, leaving me to my thoughts again.
Nice one. Might have enough time to check on Nora. How about it? Huh?
I keep my distance from chaos. Their presence still feels dangerous.
Come on, hub. You're here to uncover the truth, not get lost down memory lane.
So was that? How did that unlock the Nora bit? Some fish swimming around there. I don't understand how this just opened because it wasn't. It didn't imply that it was locked based on any of that, so I don't get it at all. All right. So we can't do this route now. Steal the secret poem. Laszlo's hiding. Have to do Nora now. Nora looks well incensed. She almost sick with rage, or is it fear?
Everything okay?
No reaction. She uses her phone. Her fingers are blurred as they tap word after word onto the screen. Just looking phone. Looks more like a pad of paper.
Nora?
It's a foldable from the future. She's got the what looks to be the different aspiration things on it. Power. Truth and bliss, maybe.
What?
Oh, hey. I just... You look a little...
Polly. Wait. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap.
Ursula's poems. That good, huh?
Something like that. They're all about her dreams, how vivid they could be. I've read her work before, and this is by far the most literal I've seen her. According to this, she dreamed a lot about family, us, where we've been, and where we're going.
Like I've heard her voice before, though, when she used those intonations.
She says that the poems claim that she can predict the future.
As soon as the words are out, she's back on the phone. Her face is flushed, her mouth tight. So what's she doing on the phone then? What's got into her so frightened? What's gotten her so frightened? Alright, so... we kind of want to make sure we've got 3 truth crystals, I think. Because I think we're trying to get the truth way. Gain a truth crystal. We've got 0 at the moment. I don't know if we can get 3 truth crystals though, unfortunately. So we might have scuppered ourselves there. But we're kind of getting some chaos stuff, so... gain a truth crystal. Ask her what's going on. Who is she texting? Power crystal. Have a bond, because we do have a bond crystal. What's Nora feeling? Have a bond crystal. 2 truth crystals. What's troubling Nora? It's a secret quest. Well, we're going down the secret quest route, I think, is the gist of it. It seems. Bond crystals. Gain a bond crystal. Have a bond crystal, gain 1. No one knows thoughts. No one loves those thoughts. What's Nora feeling? Send Nora over to Noma. Nora shares her worries. 2 power crystals. Nora to Noma. What's the... you're going to Noma. Alright, what's she texting? I'm going to go down that route. Get the truth crystal. Nora's typing away like a tornado on the phone. I'm too curious to resist the temptation. We go for this way because it gives us the truth and chaos side to it. You know, and we get the bond side as well. It just seems the way to go. She's too focused on notice things towards to get clear of your screen. She's texting someone with great intensity. Great intensity and a lot of words, like a lot.
Who are you texting?
What? Polly, You scared the crap out of me. What did you do that for? Sneaking around like that?
Could have stomped up and slapped you on the back of the head and you wouldn't have noticed. Well, come on, spill.
Not quite the attitude I think that's suitable for the situation.
No one. Just a friend. Hey, cut it out.
Okay, a minute for better talk, and she angles the screen away from me. Wait a minute, is that...
Jade?
Of course it's Jade.
Maybe. I was going to, you know, text her, but now I'm not so sure.
I didn't know you two were text level friendly. That's so cool. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? We're doing it. She's helping investigate the missing mommy or grandma, whatever she's called.
Nothing. Stuff.
Just, it doesn't make any, you know, it's literally explainable.
The poems, if you must know, they're all about Ursula's dreams, and there's a line about that stuff, egregor, and predicting the future. I thought it might help with Jade's work, but I don't know. They're just poems.
From her mouth pulled into a grin, it's clearly not the only reason she was texting Jade. Notices her face and blushes crimson.
I think it's a good idea. Texting her. Every little bit helps.
Bit too much going on, isn't it? We've got potential lesbian relationship, and we've got open relationships over there. It's just like, let's fit in as much as we can, you know.
You think so?
I do. Oh, but be sure to tell Omar too. This is right up his alley.
The wish sensation almost knocks me off my feet. Off my feel. Goodness me, there's loads of text. It is typos, isn't it? Knocks me off my feel. You know, come on.
Please, Polly dear, leave Omar out of this. He'll figure it all out eventually. Now, Jade and Nora. That's where the fun's at.
He's literally just on the here and now, isn't he?
I want to know more about this burgeoning friendship we've got on our hands. And by the look on your face, I'm not the only one.
I step back, giving Nora a bit more privacy. So clearly, yeah, chaos is all about just literally just inconsequential nonsense, isn't it? Okay, so this kind of highlights some things, but not... doesn't really help, I don't think. Just tells you kind of what you've done. Just tells you the same thing. Alright, so I have to do one of these two. One turn timer for that. Gain a bond crystal. Why do we need more bond crystals? We've got one. Have one, have one. So we're going to get 2 bond crystals likely anyway. Gain 2 power crystals allow us to do that. Have a bond crystal, gain 1. Have 2 bond crystals. Have 3 truth crystals. I don't think we can possibly get 3 truth ones. Gain a bond crystal. So likely to get a bond crystal through there. We can't go that way, so we've got either of these 2 ways. So we're going to go down the centre, I think. Choose one of the next 3 nodes. Alright, so we'll have the 2 bond. We don't need more bond. Because we'll get the other bond. Mind you. We'll get the other bond there. So we can just go that way. Send her over to Nomar. It's vital to know when to ask for help and how to share strengths. What's Nora feeling? Chaos. She has a crush. I want to know more. Such hope is romantic. Let's go just find out what Nora's about. Okay. Let's do that. Just be purely based on the putting my biggest smile on my face. I hope I'm supposed to trust chaos with this.
So, Jade, huh? She seems pretty interesting. An activist. Wow.
So very much a random side to her, isn't it, when we do the chaos route. Probably not the right route to go, really, but I'm doing it because just because of the crystals, really, and it doesn't really impact the story in a way. So maybe is that a detriment to the game? I'm picking things for the crystals rather than how it affects the story here, because I can't affect the story in the way I want by going the other way anyway, so there's no point. And it gives me the chaos crystals, you know, so interesting. Not sure what to make of that.
Yeah, she is. And she's my friend. I mean, friend. I don't really know her that well, so...
Come on, Nora. You'd like to get to know her?
Funny when she's just so over the top with this when she goes down the chaos route, Polly's voice.
No. I mean, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't I? Is that illegal or something?
Of course not. I just think it's interesting.
I feel chaos nosing their way to the front of my mind.
Look at her wriggle like a fish on the line. But we can do better than that, Good-looking woman, that Jade,
Interesting. Funny the chaos route. Interesting.
That's enough. Nora's not your entertainment.
That's not about entertainment. That's a misconception about my vibe. I'm all about new opportunities. And I know more than you might imagine.
I focus on Nora, who's staring at her phone, a cute little smile on her lips.
So? Did you text her?
Yeah.
It does go, I mean, he's quite accurate in chaos, because he is meant to be all about the here and now. He's literally, and all this is about just the here and now. It's not about Ursula or Laszlo or anything. It's just about just a nonsense, isn't it?
And?
And what? It's been 2 seconds, and I wrote half a book. She'll reply.
She turns and looks me directly in the eye.
Do you think it's possible, though? To predict the future?
Well, truth seems to do it. Maintaining my composure suddenly becomes a conscious task. I feel the muscle in my face twitch as I try to get them under control. There's chaos effect on there.
No. I mean, of course not. Maybe.
Truth literally told us he does that.
Science would say not, but, well, who knows? Science also says we should look for evidence instead of assuming.
I can almost hear my thesis supervisor cheering in the distance.
But you know Ursula. She probably believed it was possible.
Well, she spoke to truth, presumably.
Yeah. I guess.
She bites her lip and doesn't look away. There's something there in the expression beneath the surface, but I can't decipher it. Yeah, I'm sure truth pretty much said he predicts the future. I'm sure he did. And probably look. Aspirations. Truth. It's life. It's going but fast. It's record history. Truth is the way of prophecies, an all-seeing eye reverie, capable of predicting what will be and seeing everything that could have been. So yes. Twice a lip, right? I can't decipher it. Okay. Alright. So we're now... Right, so... Previous note to unlock. Alright, so we can do this one. Almost ready to share his discoveries. I hear a sigh and Omar places his pages down on the desk. His eyes are closed like he's meditating on the words he just read.
So? You took your time?
So much in here. Poetry, of course, but very precise descriptions of rituals and cultural artifacts even I've never heard of. I don't know how she came up with half the knowledge there is in this.
Come on. Time to compare notes. Hopefully something in here will point us in the right direction.
Must admit, the last chapter was a bit, I don't know. Wasn't sure really whether it was... I don't know, it just seemed a bit not quite in fitting with what was going on. You were just doddering about and whether you're going to go public with this thing, even though it didn't really matter if you did or not for this, against this, mono concern. Or, still, I don't know, it seemed a bit weird. But this one, I think the aspirations are making it a bit deeper now. Truth and chaos. And obviously the fact that aspirations are keeping something from me, it just seems a bit interesting, I'm sure his lapel badge is on it's on the other side. It was on the right, I'm sure of it when he's on his previous portrait. I hope we will get some with this. I hope we will get some with this, if I can say it properly. I suppose lapel's on a different breast pocket. Alright. So we go get there for a truth crystal. Omar and Nora's thoughts. Omar and Laszlo's thoughts. You did well to press Laszlo. Nora's thoughts. Good job. Let's see what they have to say about their task. Nora. Hear back from Jade. At random poems. What did she say? She was talking about Egregor and stuff. I'm not sure I'm that bothered about what Jade thinks. I think. And this does give me a truth crystal. Well, Laszlo's thoughts. I think they're the important ones. Out of the two. Everyone gathers around the kitchen counter. Laszlo shaking his head. Nora white as a sheet. They're all looking at me. Or to me. Let's see what we've got.
All right. Laszlo, why don't you start?
Really, you could just get everyone's opinion. In real life.
Well, your mother remains as mysterious as ever. I can tell you that for free.
Unless, of course, something happened to stop you asking, Nora.
My sections were all about love.
But I guess that's partly what you're doing. You're steering down one route, so you're just not concerned with Nora, I guess. But even so.
Love for us, our family, but also for someone else in faraway land. Totally inaccessible somehow.
Seems a bit wrong that it would be chaos. Maybe, unless it's the other one, Honor, whoever's not appeared. But I feel like... don't know. Get the impression it's chaos, but who knows. This sparks something in Omar. He snatches up the pages, flicking through them.
Good luck making sense of that.
No. That does make sense. Here, look. In my sections too, there's talk of a reunion with this faraway land. And another being. The story reminds me of various myths. And many cosmogonies start with the reattachment of a split soul.
Laszlo's face sags just a bit. I want to reach out to him, touch his arm, but Omar continues.
Ursula seemed obsessed with this ritual. This idea of becoming whole. Which... it all reminds me of the Oxion belief in realm crossing. And the Prescience. They wrote extensively on the subject. They said, by using the holy Ichor, the Prescience could transcend this plane and access another.
Alright, so talking about Reverie. So we're going to tell them we can do that soon, aren't we? That's where it's going.
How's a bunch of fairy tales going to help us?
Not fairy tales. These were literal beliefs. This sacred liquid. They called it egregor. Pools of it were said to exist across Athena.
That's what I guess Jade was looking at with... no, with Jade, but we've not gone down that route. But he's come to it anyway, so maybe it's just the same.
Egregor?
Oh, there we go, okay.
Jade talked about that. And look, my section mentions Egregor too.
So I don't know why we had the choice, because we've done Jade's stuff anyway, and Nora's stuff.
Prescient.
What's prescience? Prescience could transcend this plane and access another. So is that the aspirations, basically?
The Oxions believed that there were those who could see the future. Literally see it laid out before them. And the egregor would enhance their abilities.
Nora's talking about seeing the future. Prescience. The Prescience program sprang from long-lasting, far-reaching research by Monarch & Sons' cognitive department. This program is intended to be the next step in humankind's evolution, freeing us from our mind's limitations. Selected based on strict criteria, Prescience explores the mind guided by Monarch & Sons' newish technology. They are empowered to delve deep into the human mind and reach further into our dreams than ever before, where much remains unexplored. The Earth has been mapped and space has been conquered. Now it's time to look within. But it wasn't it? It says this is a present day program, but he was talking about it like it was someone in the past. He was in the future, yeah. But the ones in the codex are about current day people. For a moment I can't breathe as if a fist has clenched in my chest. Am I a prescience?
The last time I saw Ursula, she mentioned them. I didn't think it was relevant to all this. But now...
Well, aren't aspirations prescience, but then it's the ones in the context that talk about people that Monarch & Sons have used somehow, which doesn't add up so far.
You said this egregor stuff was just lying around the island?
Yes. No. The sacred pools were said to be well hidden. We talked about trying to find them, but MK has laid claim to every inch of Athena.
Is that one of the pools where in Reverie, where the heart thing is, whatever the heart's called. Reverie. Truth Temple mythology. The Nexus. Is that one of the pools? Seems like maybe it's one of the bigger. Maybe it's more than that, though, I think. Nora's right. This sounds shockingly similar to Jade's investigation. A cold wave washes over me. Is all of this linked?
I don't know why I didn't see it before. I believe there's a very real chance Ursula went to find a prescient ritual site. A crossover point.
Well, she kind of already had crossed over. Most, yeah. That's where she found the necklace, maybe. It's strange how we just talk about Jade's and Nora's stuff when we went for the Laszlo and Omar's side. I don't. It seems a bit weird. Silence. No one knows what to say. To everyone else, it must seem ridiculous, but to me, aspirations, Reverie, Ursula, everything is connected. All right. So we can't do that because we don't have. Haven't done the thing. Yeah, we have to go this route. Did Omar tell me everything? Go ask him. You must be honest if you have to find your mother. Okay. No one's saying anything, not yet. Laszlo stands over the counter, arms tense, legs twitching, Nora's eyes dart back and forth between the pages on the phone. And Omar, he looks like a man who's learned a lot more about the stranger in front of him than he's bargained for. There's tension in the air, Laszlo's still uneasy, fractious. He still doesn't trust Omar, I see. And there's an envy I've never seen him before. He also trusts his bookseller with her secrets, but not him.
We're all a little tired, I think. Big afternoon. But, Omar, what were you and Ursula doing? Really doing?
I told you. She'd come to me and we'd talk about Oxyon culture. Language. Symbols.
But there's more to it than that, right? Look, you know a lot about us now.
That came out slightly more aggressively than intended, but he'll understand.
Probably too much even. But we don't know anything about you. Not really. And trust goes both ways.
Not really. Not really. No reason. You were looking for Ursula, but never mind. I feel something in me shift and turn. It's weird, like a key is somewhere unlocking something I'd never even heard about. I stand with Laszlo, but I'm open up to Omar. Show my trust. This is an interesting gesture, right?
Very much, Harmony. Very much. Palms open, weapons down. This is all about shaking hands. Ha!
Alright. And down Bond route. To have our 2 Bond crystals. So we can't do that one because we haven't got 3 Truth crystals. We can't do that one because we've not got 3 Power crystals. We'd only needed 2 Bond crystals for that one. There's a secret quest. So secret relationship or secret quest were what we're after. I think secret quest is kind of okay. I think this one didn't unlock purposefully because we didn't go for the truth options. Went for the chaos ones. But we've gone down the Bond route. We got there in the end and we did a bit of random chaos nonsense. Alright. Omar heaves a sigh.
You're gonna think I'm utterly insane.
This is like they're on some kind of quest.
That both of us were.
It's okay. We're listening.
Basically going to say she's going to try and get into this other world. But she could say, or probably will say at some point, that I've managed it myself. Or your mum managed it and now I can too.
Ursula and I weren't just talking over dusty books and manuscripts. Knew it. We thought. We wanted to recreate the Oxyon rituals. We wanted to cross between realms.
There you go. Laszlo's up, a finger pointed at Omar before the words hit home. He stumbles, his hand wobbling slightly. I feel a single bead of cold sweat trail down the back of my neck.
What? These aren't fairy tales. They're very real instructions for highly complex procedures. Rigorous. Almost scientifically so. Ursula seemed to know more than she was saying. Called the other realm Reverie. Like she knew the place.
There we go. The bead is joined by another and another. My heartbeat quickens and I can feel my breath coming in gasps. Reverie. Ursa was trying to get back to Reverie. So she was kicked out and she was trying to get back. So she was living for the day. Laszlo said at one point she used to just live for the day, which is chaos. So basically, chaos is her long lost love, and she's trying to get back to him.
And we'd already performed the basic rituals, and we saw results. No realm crossing, but there were lights. A glow. We were getting close.
Because he said she stopped living for the day when she started looking into all this stuff, basically, writing the notes, whatever. And that's, as I said, when she was trying to get back to chaos.
She convinced me there was another world out there, just beyond the veil, waiting for us. Ursula spoke of a missing component. When you told me she disappeared, I wasn't entirely surprised. But...
Okay. So is that why it went to pot? Because she was so messing about with chaos all the time, not really doing her job properly, or something like that anyway.
You mean you had us wasting time with these poems for nothing? You lied?
I was just trying to help.
Why are we wasting time with these poems? All right, because I don't know, we weren't really wasting our time. I don't quite get why. Well, anyway. The room lapsed into silence. The only intrusions were the roll of waves outside and the sound of the drones overhead. And we weren't really wasting our time because we found out all this stuff, didn't we? No way Lazar believed any of that. Noah's face unreadable. And me? I don't know what to think. Alright. We made it through. We can't. I don't think we can do that one. Well, maybe we can do it. A little bit closer. Now we know where Ursa is. Let's figure out a plan to find her. This does open your one up. We would have seen it further away, I think. Laszlo takes the floor. I notice his hand is shaking slightly.
These poems, they mention a few different Oxyon ritual sites.
Oxyons. So we've already... The Oxyons lived in Athena centuries ago. Let us know their habits. So we do finally have the Oxyon things, actually. Yeah, we were saying before we didn't have it. However, we know, so Oxyons lived in Athena centuries ago. Let us know their habits. However, we do know that their dreams were closer to our world. It was easier to reach them out. It was easy to reach out to them. Once we did, they built temples and caves in our honor, showing how deeply they cared for us aspirations. Still, we stayed into the shadows, never revealing who we were. The Oxyons disappeared, and were replaced, and now the remnants of their civilization puzzle brittle. Until this was resolved, we will remain in the shadows. Okay, so basically, this is talking about the aspirations relationships with them. These are the previous inhabitants of Athena. So when they dreamt, apparently, we could reach out to them. So the aspirations spoke to them in their dreams. So as we did, they built temples and caves in our honor, so they kind of worshipped them. We stayed in the shadows, never revealing who we were to them. Okay. Oxygens disappeared and replaced. Now remember the civilization puzzle brittle, which is our world. Until this was solved, remain in the shadows. Okay, so the aspirations are not coming back because they will end it when the Oxyon riddle has been solved, whatever that is really is though.
But only a few of them seem to relate back to this mystery love of hers.
We can narrow down those locations even further if we only look at those associated with the prescience.
If Ursula did leave to find one of these sites, it's almost certainly a temple. Most of them are underground.
Okay. You know, down this location further, if we look at those associated with the prescience. What's the prescience again? Prescience, they're the ones that can talk to things while one of concerns people. It says it here is but what we talked about before were the people in the past that did it, that spoke to the aspirations. In the old days of the Oxyons. Poems. Looking at the ones. Okay, so it's talking about the poems now. Okay.
Underground?
Even in their heyday, there were those who thought certain rituals profane.
Well, most of Athena's archaeological sites are pretty well documented. Con, it's because they're all owned by MK.
I've tried for years to get access to even a minor site. Nada. completely off limits.
So, everything Ursula wrote suggests she went on some sort of personal quest to cross between realms and find her love.
Whelms, then. Whelms.
And she needed an Oxyon temple to get there.
Doesn't explain why the necklace disappeared, though, does it?
Exactly.
I presume that had Egregor in it and allowed you to get through to the other world, but I don't know why she'd leave it behind, unless she just literally vanished.
So the big question is, did she find a way to get into that temple? Or did something get to her before she could?
I thought she'd literally just disappeared. That's why the necklace was there, but maybe I was wrong. Alright. Have 2 chaos crystals. Well, we do, so we can go here. We fluked it. Don't think it... that blocks off that one, but that doesn't block off that one. Gain 5 chaos crystals. Okay, so we can do that. A careful putting chaos. Here we are. Now let me tell you something so shocking you regret sticking your nose in. It doesn't stop us going the other one, so we may as well do it. Don't think it does anyway. Who knows? Maybe it does. As pieced together the scant clues left for us, I feel something in my mind pop and crackle. Manic laughter pulsed in my ears as my vision clouds. It's chaos like a bonus section. Chaos's bedroom. This is sanctuary, so I've been invited in. My eyes closed and I'm once again in reverie, in a domain I don't know. Before me is a figure, its face haphazardly painted and topped with a flimsy crown. Chaos.
Oh my goodness, you are utterly welcome, dearie. I'm only sorry I couldn't rescue you earlier.
A lot of random stuff he's picked up.
What's going on? Why did you bring me here?
Chaos's bedroom, placed in the void, home to forgotten dreams and impossible ideas. On the fringes of reverie lies Chaos's ever-changing bedroom. It's almost never in the same place twice. Few aspirations dare stray this far from the heart of reverie into unconsciousness. This is where Chaos thrives, surrounded by unborn dreams and lost memories. Here they can experiment with as much as they please, building and destroying worlds on their whim and minding their own business in this infinity they love so much. It's a lot of random stuff, basically.
Must I have a reason? You do know who I am, yes?
An aspiration who ran at the first sign of trouble, who abandoned their friends, their family out of nothing but selfishness.
I feel like his other eye should be painted green or around his eye, you know, the makeup.
I think you're confusing me with someone else. Someone closer to home?
Look at the aspirations. I feel like Bond and Chaos are not Bond, sorry, Bliss and Chaos. Could just because they both look wacky, but there's something about them both. The smug little grin on their faces, perfectly sculpted to infuriate. I draw in some deep breaths, focus on the calm motion, the gentle breeze.
I was told your fate was tied to my mother. Where is she? What do you know of her?
The smile cracks, becoming a mocking shriek of laughter as a fire dances behind their mismatched eyes.
I left you all the clues you could possibly need. Any more and... well, the game wouldn't be a game at all.
You really are like her, though. You have some things in common.
Well, there we go. We do reckon they were together. That's the lost love, don't we? You know.
Bored now. I'll see you later, dearie, when you're interesting again. Tatty bye.
Tatty bye. Alright. The familiar pull out my mind, my eyes snap back open, and back home. With Kerstin in this, nothing can be trusted, no conclusion is certain. Were they bluffing, or were they really the one who left these clues for me? Or is there something deeper, something I can't yet see? I can't see yet. Right, so we can still do the other one. Alright, so we got that Chaos one, that's quite good. We could have seen that. It doesn't show us anymore, but there was something that let us see that if we did it down here. I can't remember which one it was now. Alright. Well, we did, so we could have planned for it, but we've got 8 Chaos crystals. We've got 17 Bond crystals somehow. I don't know what's going on there. Is that from here? There it was. Bliss wasn't in this one. Right, we have to plan what to do next. Now what? No one has an answer. We're all drained. Well, I'm drained. Thoughts slipping out of my mind at random, solid as clouds. We know what we don't know, and that's about it. Ursa left by choice and didn't return because she was successful in her mission, or because she wasn't. It hurts. My wife is tangled up with anger now, and more than a bit of old resentment.
We know this much. Jade's investigation into MK and Ursula's disappearance are related.
That's because of the egregore, or whatever it was, I think. And the link between the... Yeah. I think it was because of the egregore and the link between the worlds.
That's something.
Yes, that's something. Sorry.
So why aren't we asking her for help?
Bit harsh.
Jade, I mean. She said she was willing. And I'm sure if she helped us, we'd help her. Mutually assured reconstruction.
You fancy her as well?
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah. That could work.
Of course it's a good idea. We asked her to help us out. She's putting the feelers out there for her network, you know. She's helping us by default. Of course we should ask what's going on. Anyway, regardless of all this.
Jade Galea. You're friends with her?
Sort of.
Friends with Atina's most well-known activist. Impressive.
Strange smile on Omar's face, and his mouth was moving. Is that his teeth, or don't know what that is there? That white bit on his face there. I've not noticed it before. But anyway, I don't know.
Okay. We have a plan. Now that's a real plan. I'm gonna go to the skate park, like right now. This is too important for online messaging. It's all monitored by MK anyway. Safer this way.
Hey, just take care. Watch yourself out there.
All right, Grandpa. It's the skate park, not a war zone.
But you monitors wherever you go, don't forget.
Anyway, good luck, Nora.
I'll be careful.
I must say, sure, the plan is the only reason Nora wants to see Jade in person, but at least we have one. Or the beginnings of one. Well, there we go. Laszlo mumbles something under his breath and leaves. I guess if we hadn't gone down the Jade route or talked about her fancying her or whatever, we still know she likes us. That sentence would have still made sense. The reality of the situation returns, and I want to go after him. Funny though is, I don't know whether, as I say, sometimes it's a bit general, the text, like, because we've sent Jade, out to put the feelers out, and we're acting as if she's not helping us. But she is, you know what I mean? It's a bit weird that, I don't know. I feel like it's not quite linked to what we did in the past. Only at a general level, and even then not quite. But he needs to be alone to press what my mother has done. She was always unpredictable. This is further than she's ever gone before. Chaotic even. There we go, another link, unless it's just red herrings all this. But it's clearly, she lived for the day in the past until she looks like she got kicked out of Reverie, couldn't get back. So she's trying to get back, and that's when she became more serious and looking at things more deeply. So, it does... I don't know if it's just, if it's red herrings, but clearly she fancied chaos by the looks of it, and that's, what it's all about. Speaking of, the link to her mother and the aspiration of chaos remains unclear. What do you mean? Oh, dear God. I mean, right, she's got a love interest in Reverie, and you're linking her to chaos. Well, unless you just don't believe this could happen. I don't know. Maybe it is all red herrings. I don't know, but it seems quite obvious at the moment, doesn't it? I haven't heard from Bliss or the others, so I assume they've had no luck in prying them from their maze. The only move is to keep searching and hope the truth reveals itself. I assume you've been to the middle of the maze. You went to his bedroom. Right. So that's the end of the chapter. Well, there we go, guys. A lot of, I don't know, maybe inconsistencies, maybe not, but we seem to have a bit of a tell on what's going on. At least I feel we do. It looks like your mum, I'll say, was kicked out of Reverie somehow. But she had a relationship with someone there. I think it's Chaos. Her personality is basically the same as Chaos's, from what we've been led to believe from Laszlo. But when she was kicked out of Reverie, or what it seems like when she was, that's when she went all serious because she was trying to get back in, not living for the day as much and planning things and doing various things. And she's managed to get back there now and is possibly with Chaos in the middle of the maze. And that's possibly where we've got to go to find your mum. But we need to find out in the game, we don't know how she got there, and we're trying to find out whether that is what happened. I don't know why she left the necklace behind her. That's what I don't get. I felt like she was wearing it and she just disappeared and the necklace was left behind, but that might not have been the case. Maybe it just had no egregore in it. Maybe that was what it was, and it's filled with that stuff. But then you picked it up and managed to go to the next world, so why your mother couldn't, I don't know. But there we are. That's probably where we're up to. So I think we'll leave it there, and I'll see you next time in chapter 5, I think it is. Yeah. Got 8 chaos crystals, so we did alright with chaos. We're well on the way to going down that side of it, I think. But also with the Bond one. But before we go, let's just have a look at the act overview. 17 Bond crystals. So I think we got that many, unless they don't go carry forward. I don't know if they will or not. Right, real hard truth. Collective win. Alright. Collective win doesn't sound much very interesting. Unless that means you found your mum. I don't know. And this is the last chapter. But anyway, alright then. Okay. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye for now.